All right. We're going to do this Lars guide. It's going to be a Lars guide. It's not going to be a beginner's tutorial. So I'm not going to go through every single move, but I am going to show you the moves that I like the best. So Lars is very much a, what can I say? He's a mix-up monster, nigga, and fucking Tekken 8. Any other Tekken, he's not really that big of a mix-up. He's basically the new Hwarang in Tekken 8, is what everyone is saying. We're going to go through his punishment. So his best punishment for 10 and 11 frames is going to be 2-1. He also has 1-2, which is quicker. It's best if you... A 1-2 is a little bit safer, so if they block it, you're only -3, so you're good. But if they block this, then you're -6. It doesn't really matter, you're still safe, because there is no move that's like fast enough to punish you with that. 12 and 13 frames, if they do anything that's -12 or -13, you want to do forward 2-4. That's your best friend. Forward 2-4. Forward 2-4. You have this, but as you can see, it does 28 damage. Forward 2-4 does 32 damage. So forward 2-4, even if they do a -13 move, it's best to do the forward 2-4. 14 frames. This boy has a launcher at 14 frames. It's forward, back, 2-1. Okay, it starts out at 14. Right? It's a launcher, so you just get your little combo going on me. Yeah, no. So he's got that for his 14. That is launch. So keep in mind, it is a little bit hard to pull off in a match. If they do something that's -14 exactly, it is hard to pull off. So if you don't think that you can do it, just do a forward 2-4. 15 frames. Forward 1+2. That's a launch. Anything above 15 frames, you should always be launching with forward 1+2. If you really want to show off your skill, bow, look at that, -18. I can do that back if I really wanted to, but if I just want to keep it safe, just do that. See, that's -18. The move that I've been doing is forward 1+2. It's -13, so it's a little bit safer. So really, if you do forward back to 2-1 to punish something that is above 15 frames, you're just flexing at that point. And then the wall rising. Got the wall rising 4, that's your quickest. If they do a low, then you can do wall rising 1, that is your launcher. Or you can do wall rising 2 into stance, you can back up. I typically, if I'm gonna punish, I'm not gonna back up. I'm gonna stay in. You can do wall rising 2 and go into this stance. You can go out into limited entry. Into limited entry. Thank you, you bitch. The new thing that he got is wall rising 3 is a launcher now. Only if you hold down and go into limited entry and then press 2. There is no other pickup. You can't even do this. Yeah. You can do that. Yeah, you can't even pick that shit up. Yeah, you can't pick anything up. So you have to, if you're gonna do that, you have to do wall rising 2. Like that's typically gonna be your bread and butter combo for that. But what you can do if you really wanna extend it, bop, bop, then you can do a heat gauge. And that'll be like your highest damaging combo, I think. I'm not sure. That's just what I typically do. Your best friend when it comes to pokes, you're gonna want to do 1, 1, 1, 4, and down forward 1. Every now and then you can throw in a down 4 just to kind of throw them off. What I like to do is I'll do a down forward 1 and then a down 4, and I'll back up to see what they want to do. Because if they press a button, then I can arc blast them immediately. It's a very, very simple setup. So if I did, let's see, if I have you to punish and we'll just have him do like a regular jab or something like that. See, you have to preemptively note that they're going to jab if they're going to do something as quick as a jab. If they do the fast mid jab, then it'll be a little bit different. You can actually kind of react to that missed hit. You know what I mean? All right, now I want to go through his moves in heat. So if they block, let's see what happens when they try to Rage Art. See that shit? They got planted firmly on his ass. They cannot Rage Art. This is something that you can do with the wall too. If you want to get a wall splat, but you don't want to waste, but you don't want to do... So like if you... So you can heat dash and continue the combo, right? Bam. You know what I mean? So you could do that. Or you can just get, you know, your hits. You can get your licks in. If you do anything that is not the one, the silent entry one, you're going to get hit by the Rage Art, as you can clearly see. But you can do one. And if they are in heat, they are fucked. That's why when you see people Rage Art immediately when I'm about to do my charge, it's because that's the only time that they can do it. Otherwise, if I just do one, they're going to get clipped. So let's put this motherfucker on the wall, right? Wall splat. Oh, and keep in mind, that will work against Rage Art, but it will not work against Flash. Right? So if you get flashed, I think you will trade, actually. So it'll be fine as long as you're not about to die. But it also will not be armor. So if it did an armored, if it did a, oh, I'm so sorry. If it did a power crush, right? You will lose to it, but you can do the low, right? And you can get the, and you can get the counter hit. So yeah. Now when he's in heat, I don't like his heat smash because sometimes it will miss for no reason. Sometimes they'll block the first one and then they'll kind of like lean back off axis and then they will, like, Lars will just whiff completely. I don't like that. So I don't use it for that reason. But you are plus 10, which means there's not really much that they can do to interrupt you. Right? And then being in stance also makes your limited entry stronger. It boosts your attacks. So you can get that during your mix up if you want 4, then you go into that, or you go into that. Dynamic entry 4, hold down to go down, and then you're in there. That also becomes a launcher. So your silent entry 2 becomes a launcher. It becomes a launcher on regular hit as long as you're in heat. So those are cool things to know when Lars is in heat. If they do a move that is, what is it? Like 10 frames right there. Let's say he does that move. Fuck. Then we're gonna punish it with 2-1. This gives you a mix up with this new stance, limited entry. You have the low and you have the mid. Both. The low is, what is that? Oh, I need you to block. So the mid is safe. It's -9 and it's safe, and it has a little bit of pushback, so you have some room to deal with to kind of maneuver a little bit, but not too much. So really, after they block that, you just wanna block. And the low is -12, so they're not gonna launch you for it, but they are going to get a free wall rising before. That's the quickest move that they can get. I'll probably do wall rising 2-3, his new string. Wall rising 2-3 is really good because it puts you in limited entry, and then you can do your mid or you can do the low. The other thing that's cool about the limited entry stance is that you can actually do your crouching moves from limited entry. Let's do this, right? You can do that out of limited entry. You can also access your other stuff if you delay it, but do know that if you delay it, then you're hoping that they're not going to press a button and that they're going to just try to block. If they do press, then they could interrupt you. What do you mean by that, Elta'S? Oh, don't worry, man. I'm about to show you. All right, so we're going to get hit, and then we're going to let him do whatever he wants. Okay. Interrupted that. Interrupted that. Really? Can I do anything? No way. Okay, well, they can sidestep it, obviously. But most people aren't going to sidestep that because they're afraid of the low. The low kind of has some weird ass tracking. So if they get hit by this, okay, doesn't track. Okay, yeah, no, they're not typically going to step because if they get hit by that string, they can't step either way. I don't know if they're able to step that though. The mid. Yeah, no. Can't step that way. Can't step. Yeah, can't step that way. So they're typically not going to step. So you're really just, if you're trying to play with your wall crouching moves out of limited entry, just know that you do have to delay it a little bit. You do have to delay it a little bit. But they can't step if they do that. Or if they do step it, they can step it, but typically they're not going to. You'll see a couple people try to step it for like once or twice, but if you do this string where you're +6, or you do this string where you're +8, they're not stepping shit. 1-4 now goes into stance, right? And it's -12, so people can do a wall rising 4 on you. That's why you have 1-1. And that's really good because 1-1, you can counter hit that. You can confirm the second hit. If the second hit hits, then the last hit will hit. And you can confirm it. So 1-1 hit. Okay. Instead of just like mashing it, you can mash it, but if you mash it and they block it, then you're -12 and they can get like if it was a Lars, they can do a free forward 2-4 on you, right? So it'll be anything that is 13 frames, but we'll trade with anything that is 12 frames. Only because you're -1, right? But you see, I try to do my... That jab will shut down your other options. So if someone presses, you should do a wall rising 4. That's the mix-up right there. Or you can just backdash, nigga. Like, shit, you ain't gotta do shit. Let them press a button into their death. That's the safest option that you have right there, is just backing up. You don't have to commit to anything. You don't always have to go for something. You can play the defensive and let them hang themselves when they want to press buttons. But if you know that someone's not gonna press buttons, then that's when you can go for it. So like, for instance, I was playing against the God of Destruction player. There was a point in time when he was not ducking anything. So I just started going for all my lows. And at first I did like a couple lows to see how he would react. So I'll always go into stance to see like if someone's gonna like do something. And then like I'll kind of just like let them hang themselves just to gain some knowledge. What are you gonna do? And if they're not pressing, like do it low, and they're not pressing anything, then that's when I'll take my frames stand block, because he's not blocking lows, right? That was my whole point. Right? He's blocking all this shit. And let's say I want to just keep my plus frame, so I'll do this. And then after every down forward one, I'll sidestep. You don't have to sidestep. Sometimes I'll just do down 4. Sometimes I just will do down forward 1 and see what they do. But I do like to sidestep because a lot of people like to press after down forward 1. Another thing that you can do along with your sidesteps is your sidestep 2. That move is really good. And in this game on block, it leaves them crouching. So if they don't know that it's crouching and they do a move thinking that they're going to jab, they could potentially be doing a move that's punishable so that you can punish them with like a forward 2. Okay? Yes. I'm sorry. You can throw some down back 4s, you know. It's funny that not a lot of people actually block that, so it's kind of like free money. He has bad lows, so that is a bad low because you gain no frame advantage. It leaves them crouching, but if they block it, then it's launch punishable because it's minus 16. So that's a bad low to do. This is a bad low to do too. Now it's a bad low to do because you gain nothing. Like you gain like, it's 32 damage, which is cool. Like it's a hell suite, you know what I mean? And it's not like super choreographed. They're not going to be able to react too quickly to it. Like that's pretty fast. But the reason being is it's negative. Like you already saw it right there. You get fucked. Like you're just fucked. So if you are going to do that move, what I would do is I would just do this move because then you're in a mix up. You're plus 9. And then what I do is I'll do that elbow. That elbow is really fucking good in this game, bro. It's plus 1. So remember I said you can do 1-4 to do that 1-1-1 like frame trap. This works on block. So block 1-1-1. If they try to hit, then they will get hit. Boom. Plus 1. It's a frame trap. Get fucked. Nigga. Another thing that you can do that people don't really realize is they'll get hit by this and then they'll hold that 1. And that's a frame trap. Wow. I did not know that. Plus 9. Wow. So that's a frame trap too. So hey, we're learning things. Keep in mind, I'm still learning a lot of shit about Lars. I have not, I've gone to the lab with him, but I've only labbed like certain things. I haven't labbed everything yet. So right now I'm telling you what I know. Fuck. So forward, 2. Into 2 is a counter hit launch. That is a frame trap. So the only thing that's going to get them out of that is literally doing a what's it called, is doing an armor move or doing a rage art. Those are the only ways that they're gonna get out of that shit. Or blocking, like they can block. There's no sidestepping this shit, I'm pretty sure. If they get hit by that forward 2, look at them, they're staggered so hard they're not doing shit. You got your infamous down back 4 plus 5. Now that is a good trade. So you're plus 5 and this is 15 frames, which means if they were to jab you, they're going to trade, but that's fine because look what happens when they try to do that shit. So I'm fine with trading with the dick jab if that's what they're going to do. Now, if they go into armor, of course, yes, they're going to hit me. But dealing with armor, what you can do, honestly, is just do it down. Just do it down 4. You'll be fine. Do it down 4 to stop the armor. You don't want to get too trigger happy with down 4. Don't do down 4 a lot because down 4s are now negative 15 in Tekken 8. So you can get launched if someone knows what they're doing. So what you really want to do, if you're just trying to check, you could just do a down back 4 and then just wait it out. If you think that they're going to armor. Because there's no, or you can grab them, you know what I mean? Like, you can grab them after down back 4, because if they too try to armor, then it's guaranteed they're not going to be able to break it. So you're +1, right? So you can, you're +1. I'm not going to lie, I don't like the fact that he's +1, because you can trade with the jab, but most of the, if you do 2, it's going to go under the jab. So we're just going to set a jab. Right? So if you do Raw Rising 4, you're going to trade, right? And you're +1, so it's like, okay, fuck my plus frames. But if you do 2, or sorry, excuse me, 1, or if you do 2, it will go under their jab. So really, the only thing that's going to stop it is if they do a mid, or if they do a dick jab. The dick jab is the best option for them. But the thing is like, if you get a whiff of that, you can actually parry that shit. Like, if you think that they're gonna do a low, but that's where it comes to like mind games, because if they start doing a low, then you can either do a hop kick, you can parry that shit, you can sidestep, right? You can sidestep. Maybe you want to do an up 4-3 to throw them off. Maybe you just want to stay crouching and do your crouching mix up. Maybe you don't want to do the spin at all because you're +1, right? And if you're +1, you can set up your counter hit with this, right? The other thing that you could do, oh, I'm so sorry. You can also do the stance dynamic entry 4, the new one. Dynamic entry 4 used to be this, but now it's just that quick little poke. I have mixed feelings on it. I did like this mix up in Tekken 7, but he has better mix up, honestly, in Tekken 8. So I'm not sad to see it go, but I do wish that it was still there. Anyway, there's this one too. However, this is not as good as it was in Tekken 7 because it used to be +1. Now it is, no, I think it used to be +2. It used to be +2 or +1, I can't remember. But basically, you could do a wall rising 4, and I don't think that it was interruptible when you did it. And now a jab will just flat out beat you. So what you need to do, and that's only if people know. That's only if people know. But for your sake, since you know, if you know that someone's going to keep jabbing and keep pressing buttons, just don't do that. Like, do this move and then kind of just do wall rising, or not wall rising, just do it 2. Because that's your safest option. And the most that they can do is just like jab check you with a mid, to be honest. The other thing that they changed about Lars in this game is that shit. His dynamic entry 3 is amazing in this game. Why? Because it is homing and it's +3, and it puts you in silent entry. That is one thing that I do not like, is that it puts you in silent entry. So if you do this, there is no escaping a rage art at all. If you do that and they block it, you're fucked. Do not do that when they are close to being able to rage art. So if they're gonna rage art, do not do this, because that is a free rage art for them. Be like, oh, what do you mean, Elta'S? Show me. Yeah, I'll show you, nigga. Rage art. Because you can't cancel it. You have to eat that shit. Look at that. Wow. Look, like, he's gonna take damage. So if you know that what you're doing is about to kill them, absolutely go for it. Awesome, I applaud you. But if you are not going to, bro, you're about to just fucking die. And don't think that the low's gonna save you either. So if they get hit by it, if they get hit by the 3, then you're good, but you're still gambling that they're gonna get hit by that. Okay, you can't even do that, and you're +4. No, just don't do dynamic entry shit. Like, if you really want to, this is what I would do, okay? I would go in and just do that, and then you can cancel it with down or up, right? And then you can just block. So if I just go in there and they rage art, so let's have them just continuously do a rage art. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Rage art. You see that? I'm not gonna do it again because the timing on it is strict, and that's like, it's way easier to do in Tekken 7. In Tekken 8, I don't know why, but the rage arts do not give you enough time to react and cancel your stance. Like, you can do it, but basically as soon as you go into that stance, you need to already be like, it's pretty quick. Like, you can go into your stance, kind of spook them into doing it, and then do like, huh, rage art, and then you can, like, you know, cancel. And you're canceling with down. Right? Can I do it? Yeah. So you could, like, down forward one, go into stance, but don't go into stance if they block it, you know what I mean? Because obviously the next thing that they do is going to be a rage art, so you don't want to put yourself in a very negative situation. You just want to kind of feel that shit out. Now on to some of his counter hit game. He's got some good counter hit game, right? I already told you the 1-1-1. He's also got the back 4. This is really good. Okay, we made it do a 1-1. That's fine. So if you try to 1-1 right after that, look at that. That's half his health, bro. After 2 back 4s. Like, what are you pressing for, homie? Bang. Keep that. I'm gonna have to start using that move a lot more. Back 2. Back 2-1. That move is good because it is a launch. Right? So you can pick it up. You do have to be a little bit quick on it. But what I like to do is I'll do like, okay, you need to stop punching me in the fucking face, nigga. I'll do back 2. Sometimes I'll just do back 2 and do nothing else because back 2 is safe, right? It's -7. Back 2-1 is only -10. So it's actually pretty decent, and it's good to just fucking throw out there sometimes. But what I'll do is I'll delay it. And if they get hit, I can confirm the hit, right? If they don't get hit, I'm giving them enough space to think that they can press a button, especially if I've done enough back 2s, right? If I've done enough back 2s, they're like, oh, when is it my turn to press a button? Then you just, bah, check them. You're like, oh, you think it's your turn to press a button, huh? Bow, nigga. Now you in a combo, motherfucker. But yeah, so that's counter hit. Obviously, you have the down back 4. That's a counter hit. My favorite button on Lars, bro. My favorite fucking move that he has is forward 1+2. That move is a godsend. I don't know why it's so great, but I love it. You will have to fix your spacing, but it is really good to kind of like get in. And it's safe on block. It's -9, and it gives you so much pushback that they can't even make you block unless they do a move that is beyond 10 frames. Which means, for the most part, you will have time to back up. For the most part. If they do a string that's really fast, they'll probably catch you before you can even backstep. But for the most part, you can backstep. But that's another counter hit. You can do full crouch down forward 2. And a setup for that, we already talked about it, is that. Or you can do this into full crouch down forward 2. I believe that is all the counter hits that he has. I'm not I can't remember off the top of my head, but as far as I know, back 4, down 4, full crouch down forward 2, dynamic entry 2, silent entry 2, and down back 4, and forward 1+2. Those are his counter hit. Those are his counter hits, and some of them launch, some of them don't. They just give you more damage. Now let's get some setups. to kind of put you in a position to do the counter hits. So if you see people whiffing strings, down back 4 is your best friend, right? You see them whiffing high strings, down back 4. If you see them from a distance, like your get in is your forward 1+2, but kind of gauge the distance so that you know that you're not gonna whiff, because if you whiff, you're just gonna get launched. If you do forward 2-4, this is my favorite. I'll do forward 2-4, and if people get up, right, then they are going to have to deal with the Oki. And that's your safest option, just doing 1. If they're gonna armor, then you can do a 2 and get a counter hit. So basically, we're gonna forget the fact that you can forward 2-4. Okay, they're gonna fly back, and you're gonna come in and do forward. You're gonna do dynamic entry, and then you're gonna do 3. Right? Armor beats that. That's unfortunate. We know that though. That's why we're gonna do the low. So the low beats the armor. So you're gonna discourage them from doing the low as long as you know that they are. And if they armor the first time, you're fine, because there's no armor that will launch you, as far as I know. I could be wrong. I could be very wrong. But as far as I know right now, you can eat that first armor, get the idea, hey, they're going to do an armor. So next time that you put them in that situation. Oh, you like the armor? Okay, well, I'll do the low. And now I got my counter hit. Another thing that you can do is after forward 1+2, you can do the same thing. As long as you get a knockdown and they tech. If they tech to get up, like they tech right away, you can go into dynamic entry and get a 3 automatically. They're not going to be able to do that. And since it's homing, it does not matter which way they tech, as long as they tech. And they can't do anything in between. And if they try to press a button, or if they try to duck this part, then they will get hit. Another thing you can do is you can do the stomp into stance, right? So if you want to mix it up, right? That's why people are saying that he's the Hwarang of Tekken 8. Like he's a second Hwarang, because as soon as they get up, you're guessing again. It's a mix-up, and that's only if they see, watch, knock down, back 3-4, right? That's good for whiff punishment. If you do back 3-4, and then go into the stance, right? Then they got to deal with that. So those are the moves that you kind of want to do it right after. Forward 2-4, forward 1+4, and then also back 3-4, excuse me. Let's say that they don't want to get up, right? Let's say they want to stay on the ground, or let's say they do that. Actually, let's see what we can get after that. Let's say they just stay on the ground, then they get up. You can do that. Maybe you want to go into silent entry if you know that they're gonna block. So you can just go silent entry by pressing forward after you're in dynamic entry, and then you got that mix up. But let's say that they get up and they press a button every time that they get up, bro. Let's say they do, ooh, shit, right? You know what I mean? What you could do is you could still do the forward 3-3, right? For the low kick. But let's say they do the mid kick, right? And you want to do, wow. There's no way. There's no way. Okay, there we go. I think that's what I was looking for. Okay, so let's say you do that, okay? And they do a get up kick, okay? If you do forward 2-4 or you do back 3-4 into dynamic entry 3, they can't stop it unless they stay on the ground. They have to get up, right? And if they get hit, like we just discussed, then you're in pressure. And I like to do a running 3 when I'm in pressure. But after that, let's say we're always trading on that, right? You can do dynamic entry 2 for a counter hit launch, and that also works on the low. So let's say they do the low, so you can do bow, bow. Look at that. But Elta, what if they stay on the ground? I'm glad you asked, Kevin. So this is what happens if they stay on the ground. We're gonna say, nigga, stay not set. There we go. Oh no, they're staying on the ground. We're gonna do dynamic entry 2 and flip they ass. And you can keep doing this until they get their fucking ass up. Typically what I do is I'll do 1 and then I'll do it and then I'll go into dynamic entry again. Dynamic entry, then I'll do 3. Because I know that they're going to get up after typically the second or third time. They're not going to sit there and let themselves be a pancake the whole time. But I think the quickest one is the recovery kick, right? Yeah, the quickest one is the recovery kick. So you want to do a wall rising 3, right? So if they're going to do the recovery kick, which is just like down and like X or down and circle or whatever, you want to do 3. Because it will jump over it, right? And we already established that if they do any get up kick, then 3 is going to beat it. So if they're going to do a recovery kick and you think that they always do the recovery kick, do the 3 because it will make them do something different. And then if they stay on the ground and they don't do something, the other thing that you can do is you can bait it out. Do a get up kick. Launched. You know what I mean? Do a get up kick. Launched. You know what I mean? Get up kick. Launched. So you have options for them doing get up kicks. The other thing that you can do is spring kick. Spring attack. So boom, boom. Oh, now I'm going to confirm this combo. Right? Fucked up the combo, but you get the idea. If you're going to spring kick, I'm going to put you on your ass again. Let's say I don't know if they're gonna spring kick. I don't know what they're gonna do. Launch, because that's what you do when people spring kick at you. Bait that shit. Fuck their ass up, nigga. Damn. All right. So let's say now let's do another mix-up option with people on the ground, right? Sidestep 2. You used to be able to just do the stomp straight up. You can't do it anymore. But you have enough time to go into silent entry immediately and do 3+4, which is a stomp, right? And they can't get out of it. They can't. Side tech. If they try to get up and press a button, then you get this animation. Now keep in mind, you cannot hit confirm this animation. You just have to do it. And if you get this hit, if you just do this, that's guaranteed. If they get up and press a button. So let's do, I don't know, just a low kick. So I do bang. You see that shit? That's guaranteed. That's all. That's guaranteed if they try to hit. After that, boom, boom. Don't press a button. Don't press a button after that. You'll get fucked up. But yeah. Then you also got, and then you can go into dynamic entry, right? Or dynamic entry. Then you can go into silent entry. And when you're in silent entry, I like to do 1+2 because it will flip them. And then after I flip them, I can go into dynamic entry again and do 3. The only way that this will not hit is if they side roll. So let's say that they roll. Then you kind of want to just delay your tech, right? Because if I do it right away, it will miss. Okay? And I think that goes either way. I think even if they go to the right. Yeah. So basically what you want to do after that, if you want to keep your plus frames, that's not a plus frame, right? But it is something that will leave you 0 on block, and you can see that the hit property leaves them crouching. So what happens when they're crouching? Well, when they're crouching, I knew that shit was gonna fucking happen. If they are crouching, okay, stand block all. Okay, thank goodness. Okay, so if they're crouching, not only do they not have access to their armor moves unless they heat engage, I think that's what it is. Unless they heat engage, they don't have an armor move fast enough to come out in order for them to be able to beat your jab. So if you do this, and they do a wall rising, say they try to jab, right? They're gonna get a wall rising move. And the thing about this game is that it looks at wall rising moves as some of them, it looks at them as if they're standing. Some do not do that. So another one, we'll do 2-1. Why not? Because I think that one crushes. See, I tried to jab. I was good. My frames were faster than his, but his wall rising 2 crushes highs. And what do I mean by crush? It means they go under them, basically. So you can't jab him while he does that. You can do a down forward 1, right? But you're gonna trade. You could do a dick jab, right? But you risk getting load, or you risk getting low parried, I should say. So basically, what I do after this is I will press my plus frames, because a lot of characters will try to do a wall rising move that does not have crushing properties. So after this, I'll do 1-1-1, or I will do a dick jab, because a dick jab will leave me +6, and after a dick jab, you bitch, there's nothing that they can do except armor, flash, and rage art to stop this, because I am +6 and I'm doing a 15 frame move. There's nothing that they have that is 10 frames unless they armor or they rage art. I'm just gonna keep saying it. Another mix up that I like doing is I'll do down forward 3-3. Now some characters can punish this, but most of the cast cannot. 2 people right off the bat that I know that can is Steve's down forward 1+2. He can parry. He can punish this every time, and then King's forward 2-1 can punish it as well. But most of the cast can't. So I like to do this, and then I like to make them think that I'm gonna keep doing that, and then I'll go into stance. And they can try to confirm if I go into stance and try to jab me out of it, right? But most of the time they're gonna block, to be honest. To be real with you, they're just gonna block. And sometimes I'll just do it. I'll just go straight into stance. And you can go into stance by pressing forward 3 and then canceling it by doing down. And then I'm just doing forward 3 again. And I'm just kind of doing like a swooping motion, right? Let's say you have someone on the wall. Bop. What you want to do is you want to fish for a wall splat. Elta, what's wall splat? Oh, I'm so glad you asked again, Kevin. A wall splat is when you do a move and the character gets a animation that looks like that. They just splat on the wall and you can continue your combo and fuck this nigga up, right? The best wall splats that I like to do, you'll see a lot of Lars do back 3-4. The second hit is high, and I have had some people crouch the high. You can do back 2-3. That is an unfamiliar one. Not a lot of people do back 2-3. It actually is plus on block, or not plus on block. It actually is safe on block, so that's not bad to do. This is safe on block too. They're both -8, so it's not bad to do. The other thing that's cool is if they do start ducking the high, you cannot delay the 3, right? This is back 2-3. You cannot delay the 3 like you can the 1, right? Because you can do it quick or you can delay it. but the 3 you cannot. And if they start crouching and just like preemptively like, oh, he's gonna do the fucking back to 3, then what you want to do, that it's a high, and then they start crouching it, right? And they just always launch it like right away. Like, oh, they're just ready to crouch the second hit and launch. What you could do is you can delay the second hit of the 1 instead. And then look at that. If they're just preemptively pressing buttons, they're just gonna get fucking caught, eaten up. Like an armor, obviously. But like I said, armor, flash, rage art. Those are the things that you can watch out for. But for the most part, when you do this, you're gonna be going against people that press buttons. That's what you're looking for. Oh, they're gonna press buttons? Okay, then I'll delay my string so that way I can get a counter hit. Now, two of the things that they took out in Tekken 7 that I do not really like is back 1, no longer counter hit wall splats, and it doesn't counter hit knockdown. It's a really fast move that I wish did, because I used to spam the fuck out of this shit. This shit was good. And 1-1-1. Because if you can, oh my gosh, 1-1-1 no longer wall splats, and that used to wall splat and it used to knock down. Now it just puts them in crouching, which is not as great. But it is what it is. We work with what we got. So back 1+2 is another wall splat, and that is safe on block. Safe on block, right? And then what you want to do is once you get that wall splat, the combo I've been doing, so I'll do forward 2 to get that re-wall splat, and then do the down forward 1, back down back 2-1, and then into the shoulder, which is forward 1+4. The reason why I do that is because if I do this and then I try to do that same string, it won't work. So you need to do a move that is like one hit that will re-wall splat them if you get the wall splat. Okay, you can even do that. Right? Another thing that you can do, say you accidentally do a different move, right? If you do that, or if you do this to re-wall splat, you can do the forward 4-1-2-1, and that will always hit. Oh, too many hits on the wall, then you do that. That will always hit. The other thing that you can do is you can do, say you got them on the wall, you can wall splat with that. You can be like, oh, they're coming forward, I'm gonna do that. Or they're coming forward, I'm gonna do that, right? Or maybe they're not coming forward and they're just like blocking the whole time. You can just kind of go into stance and kind of just fuck around, bro. You don't have to commit to certain things, because it's all about being innovative and coming up with something that's like, I wonder if this will work on this person. It's all about having fun, making sure that, like, number one, you're having fun, and then you're also kind of fucking around. Because if you're just stuck to trying to do like frames and stuff, you're gonna get so aggravated. You're gonna be like, oh my goodness, I did this when I was plus and they did that and I'm pissed. And like, bro, it's just like, it's okay. Well, we win some, we lose some. So that's a good wall splat. I think that's also safe on block. Yeah, it's -8. So your wall splats, back to 4, back 2, 3. Oh, back 1+2. And this. Those are all your safe wall splats. Those are all safe. If you want to do your other ones, let's say you got them. That is also a wall splat, and I will show you. Wall splat. And while you're running, you just press forward, forward, 1+2. And I'm just sidestepping because I'm realigning myself. Because I don't want my combo to drop. So I'm just doing one sidestep to realign. The other thing you can do for a wall splat is you can do forward, forward, 1+2. That's a good one. Say they do something that's negative, right? -13. Look at that. Wall splat, forward 2, forward. You get the punish. So sometimes just like getting the punish is good enough. Letting them get up, seeing if they're going to make a get up option, then punishing them. Let's see if they do a get up option after this. What does it look like? That's it. He's just so... He's just so mobile. So 2 backdashes after that, bro. You're in the clear. And then look at that, another wall splat. So you got them on the wall, and look at that. Look at their health. That's 2 guesses, and they're wrong. And then once they get up, like, let's say they stay on the ground after that, right? And then they're dead. That's two wrong guesses. That's 3. Is that 2? That's 2 wrong guesses. They got wall splat. I wouldn't say that's a wrong guess unless they actually did make a wrong guess. Then that would be 3 guesses, and they're dead. Sure. Now let's say you are on the wall and you are trying to get off of the wall. The best thing that you can do, honestly, is to grab and get off. You can like, you know, try to maneuver your way, sidestep out, because you know that like they're gonna give you enough rope to hang yourself. Don't do anything reckless like an up forward 3 unless you really have the read. If you're a Lars player like me, you'll probably see me do that a couple of times. Okay, so you got this, right? You're not off the wall completely, but you do have some space to kind of sidestep now. So there's that one. I like to do that one because now we're like parallel with the wall. If you want to swap places, you could do that, because if they break it, then they're out. If they don't break it, then you just got damage and you have Oki. So as soon as they get up, you're already off the wall. The other thing that you can do is silent entry that, or you can do while running. And 2+4 will give you that headbutt animation. And if they break it, then you just swap places. If you land a combo, you're far away from the wall now, but guess what? Now their back is to the wall, and you can kind of like put pressure on them. Wall running 3 is probably the best way to put pressure on them on wake up, as long as you time it well, because they can still sidestep. But if you do it at a decent time, then they're not going to be able to. For opponents that stay on the ground, it doesn't matter what angle you're at. Like I said, forward 3, dynamic entry. Dynamic entry 2 is the best way to do it. And even if they get up, right, and block, it's -7, so you're safe. So you're fine to do that. And if they get up and press a button, then their counter hit launch. Boom. Down forward 2 on counter hit is really good, because it gives you a free follow-up. No, you cannot bound it. You can hit that, but it won't bound. Right? So you can do that, right? That's your highest damage 1. Do silent entry 1+2, which gives them a cool flip. Armor whiff. That one will give a nice little flip too. Bitch. Do the low. The low actually does quite a bit of damage. Does more damage than the 1+2. You could do that if you cancel it, right? Down forward 2 and hold back, but you have to be quick on that shit. And you have to tap forward a little bit. You can look at my annotations. Because if you just do it raw... Never mind, I'm wrong. Never mind, I'm wrong. That consistently hits. Wow. Okay. I wouldn't do that anyway, because on block, it's minus 10. It's minus 11, so people can jab punish you. You kind of lose momentum. I prefer to go into stance, because then I can at least armor. If they're gonna armor, then I can do a low. You know what I mean? So if they're gonna block low, I can do my launch. But what I really like to do out of this counter hit is I will flip and then I will go into dynamic entry and do that little kick again. Because if they get up, they have to. Sorry, that's the other thing. If they don't tech the get up, if they don't mash a button to get up, they will keep getting smacked. And I will show you how. Right? Or I'm sorry. So they keep holding back, they're eventually gonna get up, but they'll get smacked. Like, and if they stay on the ground, look at that, they just get fucking flipped. Like, they're just gonna, you'll stay getting flipped. And if they just keep holding back, I think you can keep flipping them, to be honest. Yeah, if they don't press a button, if they don't tech, they're just gonna keep getting smacked the whole time. They need to tech. And if they tech left or right, it doesn't really matter if they tech. Then you can get your mix up. Right? And then you're right back in there, right? And then you can do whatever the fuck you want. But as far as the combos go, you can kind of make up your own as you go. When I do my wall rising one, I almost never do the side switch. I don't know why, but I never do it. I always do up forward 3. For Tekken 8, I do down up forward 3 after that. And then that right there, the end of that combo, is not the best way to finish your combo, but it is for Oki, at least for me. You could do another thing, so say I do this combo, I'm just gonna make it real quick, real short, right? And then you do that catch on the 1. So let's do, so say I end the combo with silent entry 3+4. Let's say I end the combo with silent entry 3+4. I think I can get in there and do a dynamic entry 1 before they can do anything. So the reason why I like doing that is because typically people are ready to block right after this. And then look, I'm +1. So if I end, let's say I do this extra long combo. Now I'm +1 and I can jab check them, right? Now say they don't press buttons, or say they armor. Let's say they do an armor move. Right? We got fucked up. I'm gonna armor because I'm scared. Guaranteed. If they try to press a button, if they try to armor, they're gonna get smacked. I do want to see what happens if I jab though. I think it will only beat like armor. Right? See? So I just tried to jab, I jabbed him out of it. That's why I said don't do it. Just do it. Like, if you're gonna go for the low, you should do it only if you really think that they're gonna go for an armor. I think even if I do my heat engage, to be honest. So let's see if that works. Nope, it doesn't work like that. So yeah, you will have to, you could do, what is that? That's, oh wait, you can grab out of that shit. I forgot about that. That's good. I'm gonna gonna do that shit. So if you finish that, let's have you do this. Bam, nigga. Shit. What are you doing in this fucking party, nigga? Look at that shit. Look, I'm coming up with solutions out here. Damn. So yeah, if you finish with that, you can either go for the low if you want to be cheeky. You can go for dynamic entry 3 after that. Right? If you really think that they're gonna block, they had a lot of time to just kind of sit there. So be careful doing that. But that is something that you can do as far as like mix up. And let's say they block all the time, nigga. Just mix them, bro. Just do what you please. Sometimes, bro, I will just do that and then I'll go back and do nothing just to see what they're gonna do. So the other thing real quick that I want to add is that at the end of a combo such as this, you can go into dynamic entry and quickly into silent entry, and if they try to do a get up kick and you do anything, they're going to get hit. So they can't do anything, and if they stay on the ground, you can just do the low. The low is the best thing for you to do if they stay on the ground. But if they get up with we'll say a recovery kick, because that's the quickest thing that they can do, right? Boom. They get hit like that. Right? Then the last thing that you can do, fuck. Well, you can do that. That's kind of cool, because after you do that flip, then you can go back into dynamic entry. And then you can do 2 if they try to attack again, or you can just apply your pressure by doing 3, dynamic entry 3. So yeah, this is the guide. This is how I use them. Like I said, I'm still figuring things out, so forgive me if I left anything out. But for the most part, we went over his punishes, his counter game, his mix up, his kind of wall combo or his wall game, and then also I gave you like a combo or 2 combos or such. So yeah, they're all up to you. But yeah, I'll just put a couple combos at the end of the video, just kind of showing what I typically will do if I get people in that combo. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and yeah, see you next time.